Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck. This is Raj here, friends. Good morning. The futures are looking pretty decent. They are slightly green, so anything can change. The fear and greed index is sitting at around 65 this morning, still in the green territory, but it's flattened out from yesterday's high. This suggests that traders are probably waiting for a new trigger before making the next move. So let's look at what is developing. I have a bunch of curated headlines out here. I'll just give you a rundown of how I look at this. I think that despite the bullish sentiment, earnings outlooks are deteriorating. Just going to look at the sound check to see if you guys are hearing me. Yeah, everything seems to be going okay. The sound is also okay on the live stream. Yeah, so as I was saying, earnings outlooks are deteriorating. Macy just cut its profit forecast, citing tariffs and weak promotions. Meanwhile, Capri Holdings, which owns Michael Kors, just lowered annual revenue guidance. These are two major consumer signals flashing red. Still, the market's trading rich, in my opinion, and the Q1 earnings largely behind us. I expect valuations will come under pressure. This setup reminds me of a stretched rubber band just waiting for a snap. Under the surface, retail investors are still charging in with double and triple leveraged ETFs. That is my understanding based on a lot of market reports. And meanwhile, institutions are slowly exiting into the strength. This kind of leverage gives a false sense of market momentum. And that's why I think we are seeing this repeated aggressive move upward for the index. We'll wait and see what happens because this will be a learning movement for me and for all of us probably. Mortgage rates have also now risen to the highest point since January. That's going to cool the housing activity and weigh in on consumer spending, especially as credit gets tighter. I think based on all of these things itself, the 13% increase in consumer sentiment that we saw is still looking a bit dubious to me. And I could be wrong in this case, but I would like to get your feedback. What do you think? Please put that in the comment section. And on the crypto side, US banks are inching towards adoption, according to these headlines. They are waiting for regulatory clarity. And my thoughts are that this administration will definitely give some permissions that are needed because they are mostly against regulation. Meanwhile, Vegas just has already started accepting Bitcoin at checkout thanks to blocks infrastructure. So that's a small but symbolic shift towards converting Bitcoin into a everyday money, at least in one part of the world. Elon Musk is back in the spotlight, saying he's disappointed by Trump's tax bill, specifically its impact on the deficit. And I personally think that he has done a really good job by coming back and focusing 100%. We already seen SpaceX doing a launch, and we have seen him declare that he is 100% into Tesla. Focus is 100% on Tesla. But I think this is a risky move politically on his part to criticize the bill, especially if Tesla needs regulatory approval, or even for that matter, to do things in Texas. He needs to be on the right side of the political dispensation. And I think Tesla shareholders to take note of this. And finally, I'm going to keep an eye on ASML. They have lost around 130 billion in market value as China-related tariffs bite, but their EUV machines are still critical for AI GPU development. And I see this as a potential long-term opportunity under pressure. Personally, I've been looking at migrating into European CDRs, that is Canadian Depository Receipts, so that I'm exposed to Europe market without having the dollar touching it. So this is one of those companies which have a CDR. So I'm going to investigate this. I'll keep you updated on what I find out there. The futures are marginally green, but the undertone is cautious, especially with investors on edge ahead of NVIDIA's earnings. If I see profits in my portfolio, I'm going to book them. Otherwise, I'm going to sit tight for the rest of the day until I get some clarity. Next, let us go on to have a look at our TradingView platform, and I'm going to start off with our S&P 500 out here. And what I'm looking at is that despite this bullish sentiment that is out here, I want to just point out the concerns that I have and also the positives that I look at it from purely a technical perspective. I see that there's a major horizontal resistance zone around somewhere around 6,000. to 6,100 that the market has tested multiple times and failed to break out convincingly. Strong support appears to be around the 5,200 level, which we have out here. So those are the key areas which I have pointed out in the past as well, and they remain currently as well. Current price around 5,971 is near record highs. And in terms of chart patterns, there's a ascending triangle formation out here. So that's something I can see. And potential double top was there out here, but this could have been a potential double top. But because we moved up here, I think we have negated that, and now we may probably test this again. And if we have a double top out here, it will be a smaller double top as compared to what would have been the case if it had been between this top and this top. So in that sense, I think we are slightly better off. And RSI is around 61, which shows that the market isn't overbought and there is room for it to go higher. And MACD appears to be showing some divergence and potential weakening momentum in recent periods. So all in all, if we put everything together, I think we are still in a hold pattern with a bullish bias. The more we go up, I think we are like a stretched rubber band, which has to give in. In terms of volume, the volume pattern shows some concerning signs. There appears to be higher volume on down days recently, which could indicate some kind of distribution. So I would say that the market is at a critical juncture. And the repeated tests of 6,000 plus resistance levels without a clean breakout combined with potential momentum divergences suggests caution. A decisive breakout above 6,100 would be a bullish target, a bullish sign, and would look for higher levels when it comes to S&P 500, while a break below the ascending trend line support of around 5,800 would signal a deeper correction towards 5,200 and 5,300 support zones. So I would say that if I was talking about the S&P 500, I would say that I'm cautiously optimistic, and that's the reason why I said that I'll take some profits and I'll stay on the sidelines, not do any more purchases at this time. Now, having said that, let us go to NASDAQ, and you will notice that I have skipped the futures today because I'm seeing limited value with the futures. So I'm going to stick to our actual indices itself and save some time for all of us and do a little bit more deeper commentary. So when I look at NASDAQ, I'm thinking that there's a potential double top formation at 21,300. So this is what we are looking at, this particular line out here. This is a potential double top. We had come up out here, so the bad double top has been avoided, same like S&P 500. But if we drop after reaching this level, let me draw a line out here. Just hold on. So this is my line for the double top, and it's at 21,461. So if we break down below that, if we hit that and then come back down, then we are looking at a double top pattern. It's not going to be too bad. And in terms of resistance level, previous resistance at 21,300 to 21,400 is now going to become a potential support. And I think it's this green area, which is area of support, is going to remain a support for today. Resistance will be at 21,497.65, and potentially if we break out above that to 21,858 or something in that, 838, that's the range at which we will be. That is a dynamic resistance, so it changes. And again, in case of NASDAQ, it appears to have successfully broken out of a multi-month consolidation pattern about 21,400 resistance, and that's very significant. And it suggests bullishness further towards the 22,000 area. And I think the risk is that if it's a false breakout, it could see a pullback all the way down to 20,000 to 20,500 area. So we could come back down and test this support. So that's what I'm expecting. VIX is elevated this morning by 0.74%, which is not too much, but we are still below that 20%. So I'm okay with that. And gold is getting back a little bit into the game with a gain of 0.27%. And if you look at our AI stocks, we have NVIDIA out here. NVIDIA earnings are due today, and that's going to be the main factor for the markets. And we have a modest gain of 0.58% in NVIDIA in pre-market sessions. And friends, during these times, I would not consider pre-market to be any kind of indicator, because there are a lot of investors who may just be speculating out there. I'll wait for the market to open. Today, it's very risky, so we have to be careful. I still have holdings of NVIDIA. I haven't sold off everything. I'm holding a little bit. I've also got call options. I've sold out 5 calls of NVIDIA at around 28.5 strike price, and I've booked some margins out there. So I'm waiting to see what happens when the earning comes in. Am I going to get to keep all the shares, or am I going to have to sell at 28.5 and be happy with the margins plus the profits that I have made by selling it at 28? My purchase price was somewhere around 21.75 or something in that range. So I'm pretty happy with the profits I've booked so far in NVIDIA. Not crying about it. Meta is down 0.3% in pre-market trades. Support will continue to be at 629.57 and resistance will be at 656.40. MACD is ready to turn over and cross over the signal line. NVIDIA earnings can push it into the bearish side. So if NVIDIA goes south, everything will go south along with it. That is my expectation. And if you look at Google, it's up 0.24%. Google is a different case. It was late to the party, and its earnings multiples were looking pretty good, but it's starting to get a little bit rich up there. And Google can also be impacted by the NVIDIA earnings, whichever way NVIDIA goes. And I think for us, the pre-market stage of Google is 174.39. So I would say our support for today is 173.98 and resistance is going to be 180.23. MACD is pretty strong. RSI has plenty of room to go up. So I'm thinking that Google is looking the best among all of them. And unfortunately, I've sold most of my Google. I have got very less remaining, holding on to it to see what happens. And Amazon is up 0.08% in pre-market trading, but resistance continues to be 208.18 and support is going to be 202.41 for Amazon. Apple is up 0.27% in pre-market trades, and I think the support for Apple is going to be 198.96, which was earlier resistance. And our resistance for today is the minor line of resistance at 203.24, followed by actual resistance at 207.12. MACD is already bearish. Momentum is below average. So from the momentum angle, I don't see much uptake for Apple. We still have the China issue to be resolved. Microsoft is down 0.06% in pre-market trades. And I'm just going to remove this arrow from here. I don't know why I put it there. There's a little bit of gap up that was happening. I was highlighting that. But for today, our support is going to be 454.94. Pre-market, we are at 460.44. Our resistance is 467.47. Our MACD is already bearish. So that's one negative strike for Microsoft. And we have already been overbought before and we cooled down. RSI continues to be overbought. And whatever happens to NVIDIA, that could impact Microsoft in a big way because we have a huge gap up out here. And that needs to be filled up sooner rather than later. Tesla is up 0.64% and our resistance at 361.06 will be converted into a support today. And we will have a new resistance coming up. I'm going to draw a new resistance line for us. And I think I would have the new resistance line somewhere out here. This is going to be marked in red. And it's going to be at around 378.10. That's our new resistance. RSI is overbought and MACD is bullish. So we need a little bit of cooling for Tesla and also those political statements. I think Trump will give a little bit of rope to Elon Musk. And if he continues making a little bit of political statements against Trump or the tax bill or the deficit, then expect something to come out from Trump. It could be either the Attorney General picking up some case or pushing some weight on Tesla. So that's a likely possibility for Tesla stockholders. Oracle is up 0.02% in pre-market trading. Our support continues to be 156.90. Resistance is 167.45. We are just on top of this minor line of support or resistance at 162.05. We're just below that at 161.94. So this could be a immediate resistance, but I think we might probably open up above that in the market when the market opens. AMD is up 0.91% in pre-market trade. We have a support at 114.86 and we have resistance at 125.04. Pre-market, we are at 115.60. SMCI is up 1.83% in pre-market trades. Our support continues to be 39.09. Right now, we are at 42.33. And therefore, our immediate resistance is going to be 42.82, followed by resistance at 46.24. Broadcom is up 1.01% in pre-market trades. Our resistance at 236.64 is going to become the support for today. So this is our support. And I'm going to plot out a resistance for today. Our resistance for today is going to be, let me just pull this up a little bit. Our resistance is going to be at 247.43. Palantir is flat in pre-market trades, just gone up 0.01% as I was speaking. We have a support at 124.75 from earlier. That is going to become a resistance for today, and our support is going to be at 108.12. If we were to break about this resistance, which is very possible because we continue to have a bull flag out here, and then our resistance is going to be 123.39. Now, if I was to trace out this bull flag to give you even more specific targets, I would say that this is our bull flag. And our resistance for today is initially going to be at around 125.98. Right now, we are at 123.40. So this is even more precise resistance for you. And then having said that, let us look at SMH, which is the semiconductor ETF, marginally up by 0.38%. Nevertheless, if NVIDIA goes in a particular direction, SMH will also go in a particular direction, in the same direction. So I think that our resistance for today is going to be 250.97. Support is going to be 233.03. And to be more precise, I would draw a diagonal line of resistance for the bull flag. So this is our bull flag out here. And we could break out on the upside. And if we did that, I think it's going to be amazing. We'll be going for new heights, and the bull flag is coming all the way from here. This is the flagpole that I have. So this is the length of the flagpole. And if I pull it out here, assuming that we are going to break out today, we are looking at a price target of 281.19 in my opinion. If we have good news from NVIDIA, we could go up further. The fact that we are having a consolidation here indicates to me that this is probably not the case of buy the rumor and sell the news. So this could be one of those instances where NVIDIA goes up after earnings. But personally, being a retiree, I don't want to take the risk. So I have booked profit on most of my NVIDIA holdings. And I'm looking at some kind of gains from my calls that I have sold at 28.5. I would book those calls, and then I'll wait for NVIDIA to come back down again. And that's what is going to happen to SMH also. If NVIDIA goes up, SMH is going to go up like this. So it's already positioned. And then when NVIDIA comes down, SMH will also come down with that. So that's what I'm thinking. Tempus AI out here for our friend Hot Dog is looking pretty decent today. It's up 0.26% in pre-market trades. It has got support at 64.02 and it's got resistance at 67.82. So that brings me to an end of today's session. I'm just going to look at our comment section. Hi, Inf, thanks for joining. Yeah, it's the NVIDIA hype. And thanks for coming in and talking to me this morning. And looks like flat, sideways, do nothing day. Yes, I agree with you on that. I think it's looking like a do nothing day. And thanks for joining in, and thanks for giving me company. We'll then close the live stream now, and we'll see what happens later on. And I'll go off to my breakfast as always.